This is Harold the Helicopter, and you're listening to the Railway Series Book Club. Cheers, and keep up the good work!
Helicopter.
Hey, do you guys have Flappy Bird on your phones?
No. Die.
Anyone in this thread smoke weed?
No.
That's a really obscure Tumblr post reference.
It's not fucking obscure. That's like one of the all-time classics.
Is it? Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. Whenever I quote it, people don't get it. They just think I'm crazy. They just think I'm genuinely fucking asking. I'm gonna be asked. I don't either.
No, I didn't. I knew you were referencing the Tumblr post because fucking that's the only thing from that Tumblr post I fucking remember. I don't remember anything else about the Tumblr post other than it ends with some guy being like,
I don't remember it either.
"Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we talk about the Railway Series and Tumblr post, I guess." I am Jamie, the Queen of Sodor, the hostess with the mostest pronouns, she, her.
I'm Vivian. I'm a ghost. She, her.
I'm Andrew, they, them. Today, I don't have tea, actually. But I do have water, and it's snowing outside.
Oh,
Ooh.
festive.
Very interesting, yeah. End of November, ooh.
Soon it'll be the Christmas time.
Soon it'll be
All
time
down the
for everyone
line.
to change their profile pictures accordingly.
Yeah. Christmas is a time for things, and in this case, even though it's not actually
Finish
Christmas
the lyric,
yet,
Jamie.
Christmas is a time for things, both old and new, and one
There.
of those old things is the third story in Railway Series book number 11, Percy the Small Engine, entitled Percy and Harold.
Oh my god, there's a guy named Harold.
Yeah, who the fuck's this guy?
I hope he
know.
explodes.
If you've been living under a rock, you might not know who Harold the Helicopter is, because he is one of the most popular characters in terms of, like, merchandise representation. Probably
This is true.
because he's a unique vehicle and a unique color. But, you know...
He also went nearly unchanged in the diecast range for, like, 20 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then they
pretty
fucked it
baller,
all
to be
up!
honest. Yeah.
They ruined his streak!
They've
Literally.
they fucked bro shit up in Egg, to be honest. Like how the fuck do you
They
fumble
made
that
him
hard?
look like the fucking chatbot emoji from Twitch.
Yeah. Oh my god, he does look like Twitch chat.
He does.
Routine
It's very
resub, chaps!
unfortunate.
Hello!
Vinny, aren't you going to play the game, Vinny? Just 20 minutes.
Dante's very good in Devil May Cry 2.
He's very good. Play DMC2, please. Only 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I'd have a bit more to say about, like, the introduction of Harold the Helicopter at this beginning part. Like, we'll have more to say about Harold as we actually go in the story. Let's
Yes.
talk about other things in the lead-up to actually saying things about the story.
Yeah, like what it was inspired by.
Yes, I believe the story was inspired by a publicity stunt by the LNER, where they had one of their A3 locomotives, which may or may not be the Flying Scotsman, race
A1, actually.
a whatever the fuck, one of the Gresley sausages. It raced both a motorboat and an airplane for a publicity stunt.
Meow.
Wow.
The story is
fucking-
also one of the times in which the CGI series recreated a classic series episode for a flashback, in the very, very good episode, Letters to Santa.
Fantastic episode.
That is a banger.
Yeah. It's nowhere near as in-depth as the recreation of Thomas Terrence in the Snow in Terrence Breaks the Ice.
Which, to be fair, is half the episode.
Yes. But they do this very cool thing where after the initial shot they add in wholesale where Harold and Percy take off to race simultaneously, which is not part of the original story. Every single shot in the episode is recreating one of the illustrations from their race. So they have, like, Percy going through Farker with Toby. They have the various countryside racing shots. They have Percy pulling into the harbor, which is represented by Brendam Docks, because they don't have a fucking Knapford Docks set. And they have the scene of Percy celebrating with the guy on his head. It's great!
It's off my head!
Yeah!
You don't belong up there! I do.
You're not a scarf?
What's interesting about the LNER's publicity stunt, really, and I found this out yesterday, is that it, like, it's the weird thing. There's a lot of footage of it. And I say a lot of, there's, maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 YouTube uploads. And there's shots where, like, the engine that is, like, you know, racing the speedboat and the airplane switches between being, like, it switches between being an A1, a C1, and I don't remember the specific classification off the top of my head, but one of the Robinson 440s from the Great Central, which is very curious.
Interesting.
Little bit fucked up.
Looking at the one photograph, there's a couple photographs of the specific one. The A1, I almost want to say it looks like it's numbered 2549 if I squint. 2549 was Persimmon. So that could have been Persimmon that raced the motorboat and the airplane.
Damn fucking fruit.
Huh. It's a gay train.
Don't let Flying Scotsman take the credit.
Yeah, the wiki says Flying Scotsman on all these images for some reason.
On the Flying Scotsman's, like, page, like, on the gallery page, under the picture, it says, an engine with the same basis as Flying Scotsman. So
why is it there?
That's a weird way to word that.
That is so
an
obtuse.
engine of the same class?
Yeah.
Why is it there?
Or even just a different LNER A1. Like, you could do anything, bro.
Yeah, like, it's not a basis if it's a real locomotive. That's just a real locomotive.
Yeah. Real-ass engine. Grown-ass man.
Do you guys ever think about how, because they use the wiki for specifications for the Meet the Contenders videos, instead of class, it lists a basis?
Yeah. I think about that a lot. I think next time they try rebooting Thomas, they should have writers that don't just take the wiki at face value. Because, like, it's a good resource and all, but then you get shit like that, or the Stanley basis nonsense.
I want Davy Moore back.
Davy Moore was cool.
Give me Davy Moore or give me death. I fucking love that guy's episodes.
Give me Davy Moore and Helen Farrell, please.
Yeah.
Helen Farrell had not a single miss in her entire run on Thomas.
Egg fucking exactly.
All of her stories are fucking brilliant.
We should let women write Thomas more.
Yeah.
True.
I think I should be in charge of Thomas.
I want to be in charge of Thomas.
Oh, we can do it together.
I want to be in charge of Thomas.
We could do it together.
We can all do it together. We'll storm Mattel and steal VIP, and we'll...
If we Naruto run, they can't stop all of us.
We will grab the MS Paint square on the big, like, desk in the like large office that says IP on it, and then we run out of there, and the Runaway theme starts playing. And that's how my AU of reality starts.
My gay
It's called Sodor but cooler.
Then when Mattel calls in the fucking state troopers or whatever to gun us all down, it starts playing Henry's sad theme because we're all being felled by bullets.
The music starts up and there's just a fucking shot of a bullet going square through one of our ball sacks.
Why would they show our nuts on camera?
It'd be funny.
It's because it's because media hypersexualizes transgender women.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't? You know what actually didn't though?
What?
Doctor Who and the Star Beast, which
True.
aired very recently.
I actually watched that, even though I'm not caught up with Doctor Who, and I thought it was pretty great.
I thought it was fantastic. I had the biggest grin on my face the whole time I was watching that.
I really enjoyed the very silly moment when, they were flashing back to... When they were flashing back to Donna repeating binary, 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 and then Rose was like, non-binary.
Yeah! Oh god, I fucking loved it.
That's the right amount of silly.
Yeah. It made me feel like we're in a weird way. It made me feel a little better about being non-binary.
Aw.
Like, I don't know. I've been. I'm not gonna trauma dump on a fucking Thomas the Train podcast, but like I've been in a little bit of a weird place in regards to that for much of this year. But yeah, the new Doctor Who actually did help with that quite a bit. So
Andrew,
yeah.
you're non-binary? Like,
I'm non-binary.
You don't have any binary?
Yeah,
That's
I got none
so
of it.
poggers.
It's epic and
It
poggers.
really is. You're very pogger.
I remember last year, like last December, I did a tweet that was like oh, what would you like to see from this account next year things, and someone replied to me saying, stop being non-binary, it isn't real. And it's like,
What
dude,
the fuck?
if it's not real, then how am I it? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bud?
How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?
Exactly.
Excuse me, liberal.
How many light bulbs does it take
to screw in a log by bulb? None. They're
too busy.
They're gender.
Can we move right from that to the story?
Yes.
Yes, please. Percy worked hard at the harbour. Toby helped, but sometimes the loads of stone were too heavy, and Percy had to fetch them for himself. Then he would push the trucks along the quay to where the workmen needed the stone for their building. An airfield was close by, and Percy heard the aeroplane zooming overhead all day. The noisiest of all was a helicopter, which hovered, buzzing like an angry bee. "Stupid thing," said Percy. "Why can't it go and buzz somewhere else?"
I love the opening.
I believe this is the same key that Percy's going to fall down in Percy Takes the Plunge.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
He made it, and it was his undoing.
Yeah, that's
apparently he made it fucking shitty because it fucking sinks in a year.
That's some real, like, hoist by his own petard shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that not the perfect thing for Percy, though? He does something, thinks it's fine, and then he fucks himself over like a year down the line.
Yeah.
I don't even remember doing this!
Also, apparently Toby is too fucking weak to deliver his own stone train.
He's too stupid and old.
He's old. I don't like him.
He's ugly and disgusting.
Yeah, I hate that guy. Just looking at him makes me go, ugh. Ew.
I'm glad he's not in this illustration.
He's stupid and stinky and smelly and gross.
Did you guys hear they found the old carriage prop?
Yeah! How the unlikely fandom. They revealed the old carriage prop.
My!
I remember this.
Every year on my birthday. I'm honestly still thinking about that in the context of, like, Topham just saying that completely casually, then walking into his office and fucking raging like Mike in that one clip.
Oh, that was such a good bit.
Oh, I hate that coach! Fuck! Fuck, that pisses me off!
Throws his chair out the window and hits Winston square in the face.
Oh, I remember this. Every year on my birthday. Thank you, Thomas.
Thomas.
Thank you, Winston. You've had a really useful day.
You know,
Fuck!
I can see that you've both had a really useful day. Alright, thank you guys. Fuck! Oh, that pisses me off! I'm actually drooling with rage right now!
I am
Those
fucking
cocksuckers!
I have so much anger within me.
Why do you think it was rotting away on that shiny, you stupid idiot?
I hate you.
Just the... I think it's I think there's a WTL gag, right, where like it's the scene in Duck Takes Charge, and the Fat Controller repeats silence like 3 times, and each time it gets in like a lower pitch and his face gets redder. Like there's a direct analog between that and like Mike turning fucking beet red screaming over Windows Solitaire.
Also,
Let's talk about this page.
Yes, my friends, I have things to say. First of all, I really like the opening narration. Very well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just very, very charmingly written, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said this during Percy and the Signal, but like, this book really does mark a real growth in Audrey's prose. Like
Yeah.
it gets a lot tighter, gets a lot snappier from here, and it gets much more purposeful. I think. I like how many similes are in this story, actually, which is like it's probably a bit of a cornplate thing to observe, but like I don't give a fuck.
Anybody who complains about cornplate is a fucking CIA plant that doesn't enjoy media.
Yeah, to be honest.
Literally the whole thing about enjoying things is just going needlessly in depth with them. Leave people alone.
The whole thing about enjoying things is enjoying them.
Yeah.
That's just it, isn't it?
Put that on a motivational poster.
We could make that a shirt.
Railway Series Book Club merch drop coming soon. That's a lie.
We could get one of those Twitter bots that's like, man, this would look great on a shirt.
Oh, true. That can be our merch store. Is we just make a bunch of tweets like that and have them do it
we
for
like
us.
farm it.
Yeah.
I want to point out, I think it's very funny that, like, I may be wrong, but I think that the way they've made buffers is just, like, they've bent the rails up.
Yeah.
That's a thing they do in the real world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an extremely silly way to do buffers, personally.
Yeah, because if you hit it, like, hard
it's
enough,
fucking
it'll just
stupid.
go up the buffers.
And that's why Percy Takes the Plunge happens.
It's got a fucking crashworthiness of -1. Like, what the hell?
Also, there's a little boat here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little barge. It's called Dignity.
Yeah, a little boat
Yeah.
named Dignity.
She looks very polite.
She is named after the one thing I lack in this day and age.
I hope Percy and Dignity were good friends.
Yeah.
Were, because she is dead.
Yeah.
Yes. Canonically
something-
dead.
Something else interesting to note here, I think, is that there's an illustration that Owen Bell did. I don't think I remember what it was for, but it's probably something that ended up on like puzzles or like on the I don't know, the like Nyland sets and stuff like that. That was based directly on this illustration, and Dignity is also there.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. Percy watch for this page is this is a good Percy.
Yeah.
It's a solid Percy. There's maybe a tiny bit of jank, but like it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, and if I am, maybe someone can, like, tell me, but, like, it looks like the harbor is above the main line in elevation.
It kinda does. That's
a
bit of
Dalby
weird
perspective moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can see people hanging out on the beach over there. Which
Oh,
is
yeah, you
neat.
can.
Yeah, Knapford Beach.
Yep.
Another interesting Dalby perspective moment is the way the key seems to disappear in the space between Percy and the first truck he's pushing.
Yeah. It's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just haven't finished that part yet.
Can you tell Dalby didn't want to do this anymore?
Yeah. Also, neat thing about, I guess kinda sorta about this page, except not really, because, it's not actually on this page. In the TV series, they had a teeny tiny interaction with Thomas here. Thomas will show up sometimes, be like, "Hey, Percy, you're doing a great job." And then they transition right into the fucking airfield stuff, where they do not show any airplanes, despite showing Percy looking up at a bunch of noises, which I found I found it very funny.
They couldn't afford to build an airfix kit.
It's their well, no, I think they had plenty of airfix kits, right? They just didn't want to be bothered trying to swing them around.
Yeah. They couldn't film one piece of stock footage with a random plane.
I think it might, with the way the final episode was edited together, I think it might have been a bit disruptive, but also it would have been funny to just randomly cut to just this random ass plane.
Yeah.
It's just a real plane, like it's in black and white or something.
Yeah, like it's
actual footage of
stock footage.
Robert Galgaliers flying his tiger moth. They somehow managed to get the periscope out into the real world to film him in the cockpit.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Something else about the TV episode, right? Is that this is something that I should like to get on a little bit. It might be something I've expressed before, but the U.S. title of this episode kind of sucks.
What's it called?
It's called Percy Proves a Point.
What point is he proving?
Exactly. And
why do you guys hate good titles for stories?
Hey, ask Rick Sigelcow. It was his idea.
Yeah. Someone should have asked him at the screening last night before the old carriage was brought up.
Yeah, I mean after that happened, no one gave a shit about what that guy had to say.
No one gave a shit about what anyone had to say. Everyone was looking at the old carriage.
Everybody's looking at the old carriage.
Every
kissing.
year on my birthday.
Every year on my birthday. But yeah, it's like, so the thing about Thomas stories, what makes these early ones, the titling of them really effective, is the way it's just very simple. It's just Percy and Harold. So that way, down the line, if you're trying to remember, what one was this? It was the one that had Percy and Harold, or it was the one with the leaves, and you look them up and it's like, oh, it's called Percy and Harold. Oh, it's called Leaves.
It is more so a description than a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the US versions tried to make the title a title, and it doesn't really work.
The fact they called you called an episode Thomas Gets Tricked. That's every episode Thomas is in.
Yeah.
Also, Thomas and the Breakdown Train being called Thomas Saves the Day is a little interesting.
Yeah, because
with a capitalized I. Because to my previous point, oh, what's the one with Thomas and the Breakdown Train? Oh, it's just called Thomas and the Breakdown Train. Huh? Look at that.
Meanwhile, Thomas Saves the Day could describe any number of later era episodes.
Isn't there literally an episode?
They literally called Thomas Saves the Day.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say.
That's the one with him getting the fuel, isn't it?
Maybe I don't remember if it's
that's Thomas to the rescue. That's Thomas to the rescue.
Right, Thomas Saves the Day.
Thomas Saves the Day. That's the one with the flatbeds.
Yeah, and the difficult bend.
Slow down and puff with care.
Maybe it's early to say this, but I don't know where else I would say it. Harold doesn't have his name.
He doesn't.
Anywhere in this book.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, he does, actually.
Look at the next
stupid.
page.
It's on the next page.
Yeah, it's literally on the next page, bud.
And on one of the other pages. It's just
It's
can't-
just Dalby didn't paint it on from a distance because it's far away and you probably wouldn't be able to see it very well. And if you were to do that, it would just look like some weird smudges and shapes.
They should have
Yeah.
the squiggle.
Nah, bro, I'm not reading that essay. No, I don't think there should even be a squiggle.
I'm doing my best here.
Nary even a squiggle.
Just 'cause you two are smart and cool.
I never claimed to be either of those things, but if you insist.
But V, you are smart and cool. You're old.
Based on the Gay series by my dad.
By the Reverend W pronouns. Alright, we good to move on?
Yeah, I can't remember what the fuck else I want to say here other than it's neat that they add the little interaction with Thomas, because again, setting up the big thing with Thomas and Percy, which is that they're best friends. A bit.
Huh.
Which,
Yeah.
because, hey, Thomas and Percy are finally hanging out again after that one time they hang out during the big engine strike.
Yeah.
They're buddies. They're pals.
Yeah.
Yeah!
It goes from, it's like, oh, hey, it's you. Hey!
The two were best buddies.
Yeah.
They were pals. They were chums. Buy Percy's chocolate crunch bar from Debenhams.
I suppose there's also...
for the mailbag.
I suppose there's also Thomas's Christmas party to consider, because he would have involved himself in
Oh,
that
yeah,
rescue.
true.
So it's not as... And again, during the strike, he worked the Farker branch while Thomas and Edward were...
Yeah, Thomas and Edward worked the main line, yeah.
Yeah. So it does make a lot of sense to send him here for a new allocation, because he's experienced with the place.
Yeah.
Also, he is the only engine they've got, really, that could work there.
Yeah.
Reasonably. Permanently.
I mean, they could do Duck, but they specifically got him because they need Percy to do this.
Yeah, they got him. They got him for the pilot job.
Yeah.
Imagine how miffed Percy would be, though. Like, don't worry, Percy. We're gonna get another tank engine. Oh, great, what's he gonna do? He's gonna go to the branch line you've already been to while you stay here and shut the fuck up.
What the fuck? Really?
I'm up to my fucking ankles in trucks and coaches.
Yes, well,
Is this the hill you want to die on?
it pleases me to watch you suffer.
I can bloody well tell.
It's a blankety blank mess out here.
Bitch ass motherfucker.
No, I should be the one who strikes next. It should be me. Me.
And I will strike directly at your fucking heart.
Attack his heart. That's why he's the Green Goblin. Holy
fuck.
shit. Yo. Oh fuck.
We've uncovered the lore.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Holy shit.
This is why you listen to the Railway Series Book Club.
I offered you a station pilot and you spat in my face. One day, Percy stopped near the airfield. The helicopter was standing quite close. Hello, said Percy. Who are you? I'm Harold. Who are you? I'm Percy. What really great arms you've got. They're nice arms, said Harold, offended. I can hover like a bird. Don't you wish you could hover? Oh, certainly not. I like my rails, thank you. I think railways are slow, said Harold in a bored voice. They're not much use, and quite out of date. He whirled his arms and buzzed away.
Okay, so I would like to very quickly mention something that is changed in the My Thomas Story Library version of this story, which is, they add a little bit of foreshadowing to this scene in that they make it a recurring problem that Harold is always struggling to find a place to land.
Oh.
So Percy's at the signal when Harold lands after, taking a couple of minutes.
Interesting.
Huh. I'd like that take on it, actually. That's really
Yeah.
Thomas Story Library books cool as fuck.
They are. I really do like how in the illustration here, Harold is just fucking sitting out on the grass in the middle of nowhere.
They left
Yeah,
him there.
he's just on someone's fucking lawn.
Yeah, you have to trust that the airfield is like 3 feet out of shot or something.
Yeah. Same with the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much of this background is not consistent with at least how I would imagine the junction to look, because the station's not even. You don't even see the station.
The whole thing is
Yeah.
meant to be that the harbor's like in estuary, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Harold looks depressed.
Well, yeah, of course Harold's fucking offended. Percy just fucking walked up to him and said, "Hey, your arms look stupid."
Your drip is clapped, my friend.
You're
I mean,
clapped!
honestly,
It's fucking like an
You know-
encore.
I find it very interesting that, like, Harold's design is more or less unchanged between these illustrations here and the TV series episodes, because, like, to me this very much feels like a design that, like, if you looked at the TV series design, I feel like you could look at that and think, maybe they, like, added something here to make the design more marketable TM. Like, maybe they added the stripe, or they added the name on it, or they added the white color in general to make him stand out more against all these fucking green and black characters this season. But no, it just looks like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just built like that.
He's just cool.
I've actually driven past an
Ooh,
example
neat.
of Harold's bases one time.
Oh.
It was while I was heading down to Strasbourg from New Jersey. There was like an open air air travel museum there that had a helicopter of his type out there. Didn't have the floats, but
Oh.
yeah.
The floats
Still,
look really
it was cool to see. I was like, yo, wait, that's Harold, yo! I know that train is Harold! By the way, I was able to snap
Nice.
a picture. I was able to snap a picture. And that will be
Yeah!
going up on screen right now. Flash, it's gone. Now it's back. Now it's gone. Now it's back. Now it's gone.
I need to remember what fucking else I was about to say. I think a lot of what would make Harold cool to a kid watching the TV series for the first time is that he's a very cool and impressive musical theme in the episode, and a takeoff sequence that
Yeah.
only really shows its seams once you're older, and notice how blatantly they cut between the spinning of the rotors and the shot where they puppeteer CD Blade Harold. And
Yeah. Not the. I mean, to be fair,
it
the
is
disc
clever.
really
I think that's a
clever.
really
It
cool
is.
workaround for not being able to, like, have the blade spinning as he's taking off. And it does look really cool. I also love Percy's gormless smile while the entire exchange takes place. Typical season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't have the budget for have different facial expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they never changed the faces on the models at all.
That's why
They
Shrink
all-
Fatty happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, that's a fucking throwback, eh?
It's a classic.
It is a classic, agreed Andrew, who is no longer appearing in this podcast episode. Clip of me getting chucked into the bin.
Harold is cool, you know? And it's really
Yeah.
interesting, because, like, Harold is, you know, there's a lot that makes Harold cool as, like, a thing, but a lot of it is just not present in this initial story,
Yeah, he
I
doesn't,
guess.
like, we'll see it later in the book. I think he has a little bit, or, like, it is implied to have a little bit of his kind of, like, pilot talk.
Yeah.
That isn't really here yet.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that kind of defines him and his role on the island of Sodor is kind of just made up later after the fact, because this book is the only time Harold appears in the Rev's run at all, and then he only appears again in, like, fucking a couple Chris Audrey stories.
Yeah.
The main thing I associate with Harold, I think, is that he's like a rescue helicopter. Like,
Yeah.
he goes in and he saves the day. He's a deus ex machina. He drops supplies
Yeah.
for starving children. He rescues Toby from the flood. And his red and white color scheme helps with that a bit, because he kind of looks like, you know, like a
Yeah.
bit like an ambulance, you know? Like, he's
Yeah.
he's a rescue guy. And that's not really
it
apparent
doesn't-
in this story, and is only just kind of sorta implied through his actions in the next story and in The Runaway, and I think it just kind of gets extrapolated from there in further TV stories.
Now, I might be misremembering, but doesn't the iOS say that Harold is owned by the Coast Guard?
I don't know.
Does it?
I didn't know Harold had a bio in the iOS. I'm gonna rock the wiki real quick.
Because I remembered that being a point of discussion sometime a while back, and I do not remember it.
Yeah, wiki says a red and white helicopter belonging to the Coast Guard service.
Alright, but does it have a source to it at least?
Okay, there's one citation. Page 31 of iOS. That's what it says. We're gonna do this investigation live on podcast, people.
Yep, we're doing this live.
Yeah, page...
While you do that, I want to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
All Engines Go Harold's pilot talk isn't as charming.
Yeah, because it's American pilot talk,
Yeah.
and it's not as entertaining.
You guys ruin
I mean,
everything.
to be fair, it is funny. Like it is.
Yeah,
it's fucking over.
No,
is
that's
funny.
how Tiger Moth should talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that they have him talking like a pilot at all, instead of just talking normally.
But just imagine for a moment, right? Just look into my mind's eye with me, okay?
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
Harold the helicopter, pride of the skies. You know,
Yeah.
oh, hello, old chap, tally-ho, wizard, blah. And and Tiger Moth just over here like, oh, you copy that, it's me, Tiger Moth. Hello.
Over and
See you,
out.
Tiger Moth. Hello. Hey, over and out. Okay.
It's like, I fucking hate you, Tiger Moth.
Yeah.
You're
so
a
it
bit of a
says,
bitch.
It says under the article for Dryall in the iOS book that a heliport belonging to the Coast Guard service is near the east bank of the river. So, yeah.
It does not
Look,
actually say Harold is owned by the Coast Guard, but it says enough for you to infer that, oh, Harold must be owned by the Coast Guard if they're the ones who have that heliport.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to make an alternative suggestion.
Yeah?
The references there are just Harold helicopter race Percy
Which-
small engine 36 to 49. What's up?
I would like to make the suggestion that instead of Tiger Moth, since he also, like, he's implied to, like, at least live near Harold, Jeremy. Make Jeremy
No,
the American
Jeremy-
pilot.
Oh, true.
Jeremy being the American pilot is like that. Yeah, no, that works.
Yeah.
Like that like literally fucking perfect for that.
Yeah.
I really like the art that Streak Smeargle did, where they gave Jeremy like a, sort of like a gray face on the front of the nose cone, and like basically just made him Air Hercules.
Also, hi, Streak.
Hi, Streak.
Hi, Streak.
Hi, Streak.
Sorry for bashing Egg
Hi,
Harold.
Streak.
It's.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sorry
It
either.
sucks.
Man.
It looks bad.
It's
You're-
kind of washed.
Like,
when you
that
find out your goat is washed.
that's no shame on you. You're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine, dude.
I fucking hate looking
However-
at All Engines Go Harold. I hate his voice. I hate everything about him.
Also, something else. It's a very small thing, but I have found the way Ringo says "I'm Harold" in the episode ridiculously funny for years.
It's cause it
And-
fucking is.
He is Harold.
Harold.
I'm Harold.
I'm Harold.
I can
He
hover
is
like a bird.
Harold.
I can have it like a bird. I also remember Carlin's like, "Don't you wish you could have it?"
Yeah. Season 2 is a lot of fun, even if it is just fucking like that.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I see people who hate on season 2 because it looks bad, it looks gross, it looks unfinished, it looks weird. Shut up, man.
I
Season
remember
2
a time when Season 2 was considered the most popular season. Like,
Yeah.
above Season 4, above Season 5, Like, that was considered the most popular one. It was one of two classic seasons, and it had all the cool moments, and it had all the cool characters like Duck and Diesel and Boko.
Yeah.
And all the cool moments, like the runaways and the crashes. And I think this story is one of those kinds of stories, because, like, Percy racing Harold is a really cool and well-shot sequence that we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's one of, like, honestly one of the best shots they do in the show, but again, more on that later. Bottom line, it costs nothing to stop being a hater.
Yes. I totally forgot what the fuck I was supposed to say before we started the investigation into Rescue Harold and how that came about, and it turns out we were wrong, that apparently, like, you know, people seem to be on the right page about this way earlier than I expected, but that doesn't change the fact that, as far as we know, in this story specifically, all we really know about him is that he's a helicopter and he's a hater.
Yeah.
Not even really a hater. He's just a guy who's there.
He doesn't give a shit. You know, he's
like, I don't like this thing. Percy's like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Does anyone else think Spider-Verse was kind of lame?
I just think railways are kind of mid. I mean, why do you need a railway when you can just fly?
Fuck this guy! Are you kidding me? Fuck this guy! Oh!
Why don't you fly, idiot? Plus aero, plus ratio, plus you're green.
Oh, fuck! That makes me so fucking mad! I'm actually drooling with rage! Oh! Ooh!
I'm racist, Harold said in a bored voice.
I'm racist, Harold said in a bold voice.
Oh. Who do you race?
Wouldn't you like to know, lover boy? Percy found Toby at the top station arranging trucks.
I say, Toby, he burst out, that Harold, that stuck-up whirlybird thing, says I'm slow and out of date. Oh, just let him wait. I'll show him.
He collected his trucks and started off, still fuming. Soon, above the clatter of the trucks, they heard a familiar buzzing. Percy, whispered his driver, there's Harold. He's not far ahead. Let's race him.
Oh, yes, let's,
said Percy excitedly, and quickly gathering speed, he shot off down the line.
Okay, I have multiple things to say on this page. Number one, that is not fucking Farquhar.
Yes! Yes! Yes, that is not Farquhar. What the fuck are you cooking?
Where
Where
this?
the fuck is that? I see a shed at the end of the line, and it kind of looks a little bit like the Farquhar we see at that one illustration in Thomas Terrence in the Snow.
Hmm.
I don't
A little bit?
A little bit. But, like, not enough.
Other thing I have to say, Percy is just talking at Toby here.
Yeah, he does. He literally does. He shows up, he talks at Toby, and immediately leaves. It's fucking great.
Which,
It's
I love
amazing.
Which, the story library books does change a little bit, because they actually give Toby, like, a single line of being like, oh, hello there, Percy, what's the matter?
I also really like that in the TV series, they changed this from taking place at Farquhar Station to being in the quarry, which creates a big continuity error later when they're like, this is Percy's first time at the quarry in Percy's predicament.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Holy I forgot about that.
Is Farquhar in Season 2? Like, with new footage?
No, that's probably why they didn't put it at Farquhar Station, is because they didn't have the set reconstructed.
Also why they used the junction for, like, every single instance of Farquhar in almost all of the stories.
Mm.
Yeah.
Except for Thomas Comes to Breakfast, which was Tidmouth.
They could have used the junction station then in that case, instead of the quarry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
TV series map is weird and stupid, and
It's bad and I don't like it.
It's yucky.
Literally, the whole time it could have been just follow the Railway Series 1 forehead.
Yeah.
Also, final thing I have to say, where the fuck is Toby's blue?
Yeah, there's
Well-
no blue. He looks like old
Oh, wait, no,
Toby
it's
and
true.
not blue Toby.
That's true, actually. I didn't even realize. Yeah.
Like,
For me, it's the way no two things in this picture are in perspective with each other at all,
yeah.
which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Because, actually, this is one of the best Percys in this book. On this page.
Yeah.
Percy
really?
Watch, this is one of the best ones. Like, apart from, like...
Really?
Like, yeah, his... I'm not really keen on his smokebox saddle,
Big neck.
but apart from that, this is probably one of the best Percys in this book. There's better ones that come along, but this is one of the better ones. I really quite like this one. Also, this is me being me and having my little quibbles, but like, is Percy's head code here even correct? By the way,
Because
it's,
the head code thing out right now.
it's because it's the fast freight with 3/4 of the stock fitted with continuous brakes, but like surely it should just be the mineral train code because I don't know. Presumably we can't even tell if the trucks are fitted or not, but like if they're the exact same ones that'll be illustrated on page 1, they're not. So I'll just be a bit lying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is fast freight.
So I know it's meant to be like he's pulling cut stone, but it looks more like he's pulling like cardboard boxes.
It does.
Like
Yeah.
he's just pulling trucks of cardboard boxes to build the key out of.
Yeah. No wonder
the
it
key is
fucking
built out of
sinks.
cardboard boxes. Yeah, no, literally, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I feel like mineral train. That would be like, more like
just-
unprocessed stones and stuff, right?
I guess,
This is
yeah.
more like building supplies.
Mm.
I don't know.
Percy, that's
That-
not
okay.
you.
I don't
That's
know
not
the
your building.
minutia of how you would classify stuff under head codes.
If you do know the minutia of how to classify stuff under head codes, then tell us in the Discord.
That's right, join the Discord.
Join the Discord. If you don't, I'll fuck your mum.
I think you should fuck their mum regardless of if they join.
You know what? That's true.
And I'll fuck your dad too. The guard's wife had given him a flask of tea for elevensies. He had just poured out a cup when the van lurched and he spilt it down his uniform. He wiped up the mess with his handkerchief and staggered to the front platform. Percy was pounding along, the truck screamed and swayed, while the van rolled and pitched like a ship at sea. "Well, I'll be ding-dong-dang," said the guard. Then he saw Harold buzzing alongside, and understood. "Go it, Percy!" he yelled. "You're gaining!"
Good prose again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real fucking good. The TV series
It's so-
kind of
it's so
messes
brisk.
with this a little bit because there's no way they can do the guard stuff. But like,
Yeah, they attribute the ding-dong-danging to Percy's driver, who is the one who suggests the race to begin with.
yeah.
So the show has it so he exclaims in surprise that Harold is there when he is the one who is like, "Hey, there's Harold, let's race him." Is he stupid?
Also, I have another thing to share for Vivian's My Thomas Story Library obsession, which is they add a moment in this part, which is from Harold's perspective of him realizing that Percy is trying to race him,
Okay.
and he's like, "Oh,
interesting.
oh, the little bitch, the little fucker, he thinks he has a chance.
Oh, this fucker thinks you can get one on me.
I'm going to fucking destroy him." So they turn it into like Harold is actually actively racing, which, I feel like is a little bit better than it just kind of not being clear if he even knows what's happening.
yeah, because
But
like
it
Harold
is
does
a-
not fucking communicate. We don't know if and there's no visual
Okay.
cues of Harold
Yes.
like doing anything in response to this. Like I feel
I
like
mean, to be
how
fair,
much
what
is
can
this
he do? It's
just
a
Percy
helicopter.
and his driver making up a guy and getting mad and racing that guy?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think that's what I enjoy about it. Like, exactly that
honestly.
point, Percy and his crew making up a guy.
Yeah.
Which is basically Percy and Harold's relationship.
Yeah, like, Percy...
I think this has been talked about before, the way, you know, Thomas and Bertie, Edward and Trevor, Percy and Harold, instead of, like, you know, being friends who, like, talk to each other and shit, Percy hates Harold. And Harold doesn't even know it. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, hello, it's this guy again. Hello, Percy.
Hello, you fuck.
Eat shit and die.
You are so
Oh, fuck
fucking
your dad.
lame.
No, because Harold barely even has like a single hard opinion on Percy. He's just like, oh, this guy exists. He's kind of lame, I guess. You know, rabbits are slow, whatever. But it is completely one-sided.
So,
Yeah.
you remember how, like... I think we talked about in Bertie's Chase how people were demanding that the bus get a rematch, and then Wilbert had it so that the train that beat the bus this time was old and shit and barely functional.
Yeah.
I feel like making it so that this is kind of a continuation of that, where Percy is racing a fucking helicopter that can fly,
Yeah.
and he still wins just because he's a train.
Yeah.
And it makes it even, like... I think it makes it even better as well that it's Percy specifically, because, like, that just makes it just a bit... It like, adds the little spices of, like, off-kilter flavor to Percy's character.
Like, this is the
Yeah.
thing, right? It went Thomas, who's, you know, he's the guy. Like,
He's the hero guy.
Yeah.
And
then they downgrade Bertie to having to chase after Edward, who at that point is barely functional. But, like, it's Edward, you know, he was an express engine. He's got a bit of speed on him. How fast can Percy go?
So Percy is, like, archetypal of the, like, just the industrial 040 shunter, right?
Yeah.
So, like, your Peckett's, your Barclays, your Hawthorne Leslies. So, like, really anywhere in the range of top speeds for, like, engines from any of those three builders would be just about right for Percy, I think.
Yeah.
See, the problem with that is
And,
I don't
obviously
know...
same thing goes for Avonside as well.
The problem with that answer is, Andrew, that I have no clue what the fuck those ranges are, so essentially you've just helped me literally not at all.
The interesting thing about that, and I think it might be just a little bit funnier or maybe sadder. I don't know. I think I'll let you do the homework on this one. Is that I also don't know.
Tell us in the Discord.
Yeah, tell us in the Discord how fast those trains are. It'll be great.
Those trains, like
the ones from Egg.
Fuckhead and Fusilli.
Those trains are going to crash.
Fusilli, that was it.
Tell us how...
It's going to crash into
us-
those trains.
Tell us in the Discord, what is the coolest train you have ever seen in person? That's the question of the week.
You know what else, actually? The music in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
In the TV
Yes!
episode is
Like,
so
when
fucking
it starts
good.
building and building.
It's real fucking good. I have a lot to say about the TV series, and it's like presentation of this whole race in the next page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because, next page we get really into the meat of the whole race, don't we?
The episode isn't perfect. The chase is delightful, though.
The chase
It
is
is.
fantastic.
It like I said earlier, it's another one of those like season 2 archetypal action stories.
Yeah. Percy had never been allowed to run fast before. He was having the time of his life. Hurry, 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 he panted to the trucks. We don't want to, they grumbled, but it was no use. Percy was bucketing along with flying wheels, and Harold was high and alongside. The fireman shoveled for dear life, while the driver was so excited he could hardly keep still. Well done, Percy, he shouted. We're gaining! We're going ahead! Oh, good boy! Good boy!
Percy is a good boy.
He is a good
He's
boy.
a good boy. Good boy.
I fucking love the two-frame animation of the fireman shoveling coal.
For the longest time, I could not tell what was actually happening there as a kid. I did not realize that it was that, like, there were body parts, like, moving. It just did not click with me as a kid.
What the fuck's that guy doing?
This is the same kid who thought that, like, the something sticky that splashed all over James in Dirty Objects was the blue tack in his tender. The way the narration presented it.
So, we talked a little bit earlier about Percy's top speed and what the fuck that actually is. Since Percy is a saddle tank, he would not be having the best ride at those speeds, I think. And I really wish that we could see that in some kind of, like, CGI adaptation of Percy just fucking, like, bouncing along at that speed.
Well, you see, I think that's where bucketing along comes from. Anyway.
Oh, true.
That could be like a double little double meaning.
To my understanding, bucketing along is kind of just like you're going really quick, but you're heavy. You know?
Like, well, yeah, I mean, that's alright, isn't it?
Oh. He's fucking going. He's fuming.
He's fucking going for it.
Also, gotta shout out the TV series and its awesome panning shot from Harold's perspective, following Percy's train from below. That's really good. Like, it's a really impressive shot.
That is one of my favorite. Like, that is one of the best shots in the show, like, from a technological standpoint as well.
Yeah.
It's such a good camera trick.
It's so good.
The shots of them in the valley are really good.
Oh, yeah. I love
yes,
those shots.
I love Harold just flying way lower than he ever should through the valley. And, like, that valley set in general is just really good. I really like it.
It is one of my favorite sets, to be honest. Like, I love that cutting so much.
It's like, so nice.
It is such a pretty set.
See, as a kid, I thought that was on, like, it might be, but I don't know if it's ever explicitly shown. I thought it was on, Toby's Line to the Quarry. I don't know why, I just kind of associated that with, that part of the line with Toby.
I think I thought of it that way as well, and I think it was because in, like, the Island Song or something, one of the clips is, like, Toby puffing with, like, a train of covered wagons through that, covered open wagons, I should say.
It's the trucks of hay.
Yes.
The trucks of gay.
From, Woolly Bear. Trucks of gay. From Woolly Bear. And that joke does not need to be... Words in the story title do not need to be changed for the joke to work.
So I have, once again, another thing that's changed in the story library book here, actually. Because they changed quite a lot in this one, which is, they add another scene with Harold here, which is him seeing Percy overtake him and be like, what the fuck?
Also, just real quick, according to the wiki, Percy's top speed is 45 miles per hour, which was more or less what I was thinking it would be. So.
Okay.
Good job, me.
Yeah. They have a scene...
Going 45 miles per hour in an engine like that, and feeling it bouncing as we go, that would be scary.
And swaying, yeah. But, like, honestly, it would be fun.
It would be
really, really fun. Like, just, like, go, like... this is... I think the story really captures the vibe of, just, like, getting carried away into an impromptu race. Really, really well. Like, just really going for it, going like, yeah! Woo!
Oh,
Let's
yeah!
Go!
Oh, yeah! Don't get better!
Sonic
Percy
X!
watch on this page is, this isn't a great Percy.
I do like his face.
He's got a great face.
Yeah.
His neck is huge.
Can we do a Harold watch real quick? Because what the fuck's happening with Harold?
Oh, God knows.
I think, like, he looks like
It's
he's, like, tilting at an unhealthy angle for a helicopter to be tilting at.
Yeah, at an egregious angle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This isn't really like a. I don't know if this is actually something that anyone else besides me will find interesting. Book Harold doesn't seem to have his little red stripes on his arms.
I mean...
Yeah, I guess he doesn't.
Yeah, I guess not.
But I
Must
like.
have just
I
been
mean,
a thing to show at it.
It's hard to see in most of the illustrations, but
Because, yeah, most of the time his blades are in motion.
in the one good shot we get of him, it is just kind of not there.
Just,
So I guess that is one change they made to him.
I think that was a good choice. I think the red blur in the propellers is cool.
It
Yeah.
does. It's a good look.
Plus, it, like, really helped the
disc.
trick of using the disc. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The disc trick.
I also like Harold's little wheels in his floats. I'm
Aw,
sad
those are
that the
fun.
toys very rarely utilize those wheels for the sake of, like, making them a bit more playable by having them, like, glide along the ground. I think that's
The-
one
the
thing
Trackmaster
the
and
Egg
Tommy
Push Along
ones have it.
Harold actually does, is the Egg Push Along Harold actually has wheels in the floats.
The Tommy one has it. So does the Trackmaster one.
Oh, true.
Something else that I meant to talk about on the previous page was that in Mr. Perkins' narration of this story, which I also watched in preparation for this, they have it so the guard notices Harold and calls for the race instead of Percy's driver. So that's an interesting little twist on it, but
Interesting.
as for this page, Johnny Morris does a very classically him bit of going, "The trucks grumbled like anything."
Johnny Morris's trucks sound like a monster made of shit that somehow came to life.
Yeah.
You've described the Great Mighty Pooh.
Johnny Morris plays the Great Mighty Pooh.
Johnny Morris loves
Listen
the
here.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
God.
another note I have for this page that is I will read this out. Harold was hanging alongside like maybe if he smoked the gamer weird holy shit epic.
I didn't know Moth was here.
Where do you think Moth got it from? That's what I thought.
I was trying to think of a funny response, but I couldn't think of one.
That's what I thought.
I will say, I do think that Percy being excited because he's never been allowed to run fast before is really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an excited little puppy.
Far ahead, a distant signal warned them that the wharf was near. Shut off steam, whistle, beep, beep, beep. Brakes guard, please. Using Percy's brakes too, the driver carefully checked the train's headlong speed. They rolled onto the main line and halted smoothly on the wharf. "Oh dear," groaned Percy. "I'm sure we've lost." The fireman scrambled to the cab roof. "We've won! We've won!" he shouted and nearly fell off in his excitement. "Harold's still hovering! He's looking for a place to land!"
This is a good illustration. I'll give him
Yeah.
this one.
I like it.
Percy watch, actually perfect Percy.
Yes.
Like, this is the best Percy in the whole book.
he looks
I'd
very
stake my
polite
fucking
and
life
very
on it.
happy.
He's very polite. He's a nice boy.
I love the shitty little Harold in the background.
Yeah.
And I also just I really like this, and I think it's very clever that Percy wins because Harold needs to find a place to touch down. Because I guess
Yeah.
being in the sky isn't all it's cracked up to be, because how do you finish a race if you can't, like, get to the finish?
Exactly.
Well, so this is just me being silly. I do think it's really funny that they have that building underneath the bridge. Imagine
Oh, yeah.
working in that. Just hearing the fucking train.
Oh, fuck. Oh god.
Harry
Oh,
betrays.
that's gotta be
Perspective was that
fucked
bad.
up.
Jesus. Also the what the hell's going on with the
That's some fucking like Thomas Wooden Railway ass architecture.
real, actually real. Now at least from my general perception of the harbor, has it so that like the bridge you see in the back there is the main bridge for the branch line, right?
Right.
It's sort of just plonked there in the background behind the station building, and
Yes.
there are no tracks connecting to it. By the looks of things, it doesn't even really look like it's got a shadow.
Hmm.
Do you think he put it in after the fact?
Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't even know. Maybe that's what he did with the mainline bridge. I don't know.
I don't have a lot to say about this page other than what we already said.
Yeah, let me see.
I
let me see what I've got.
It's
to
really
say-
good. Actually, I do have a thing to say. Actually, I'm sorry for interrupting. Which is that I think the
don't
way
forgive
they
you.
describe Percy, the way they describe Percy coming to a stop, sounds really cool and clever because it's like he gently like it just sounds really cool and like it'd be very cool to see in motion, whereas like a sequence in an episode is just like, the guard putting on the brakes and Percy putting on his brakes, just seeing all the brakes come on, and then like cleanly glide to a stop on
Yeah.
the key. Like that sounds fucking awesome.
Percy is cool,
Yeah.
I think.
Percy is
is.
very fucking cool. Like, and you know what? Like, just an engine rolling really smoothly to a stop after like traveling at high speeds. That's some of the most satisfying shit you ever did see. I
It
tell
really
you what.
is.
I
It's
love
a
that shit so much.
It's 1,000 fucking times more satisfying than the CGI series fucking brake sparks.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, there's a couple of Johnny Morris ad-libs in this page as well, which I quite like. Which is after like the line about the signal warning them that the wharf was near. He gets the line, "But Percy was ready," which is I like that.
That
I
is
like
good.
that.
Yeah,
That's a
that
nice
adds
touch.
to it. That's
Same,
awesome.
And he like makes Percy like sound audibly tired. When he's like, "Oh dear, I'm sure we've lost." Da, da, da. Like
Aw.
with some like, "Oh dear, I'm sure we've lost."
I don't know
Which is-
why.
Little guy.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that he did that.
I don't know why, but the phrase Percy was ready beamed the fucking high five ghost spirit bomb picture into my
You've been thinking about that too fucking much, dude.
It's so funny though.
You need to disconnect a little.
It's so funny.
Listen, boys, the fireman called. Here's a song for Percy. Said Harold Helicopter to our Percy, you are slow. Your railway is out of date and not much use, you know. But Percy with his stone chalks did the trip in record time. And we beat that helicopter on our old branch line. The driver and guard soon caught the tune, and so did the workman on the quay. Percy loved it. "Oh, thank you," he said. He liked the last line best of all.
I love the idea of like the fireman writing that during the race.
Well, it's just like fucking one of those like
It's one of
fucking
those things where you
English
just sort of think
football
about it on the
fans.
spot. Yeah,
It's like English football fans where they're like, okay, we're gonna sing this song to the tune of this song. Here goes 1, 2, 3, and they sing about how much their team fucking sucks.
yeah. Or like
It's like that.
the Irish football enjoyers last year with Lizzie's in a box.
Throw back to when I called my dad the day the Queen died. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking celebrate. Bought a box of beers.
Yeah, you already bought a six-pack.
Also,
There's a bloody street party going on over here, mate.
I talked a bit earlier on the last page about shitty little Harold in the background. This is the shittiest little background
This is the
Harold
ultimate
ever.
shitty Harold. I love
He's
this
so
shitty Harold.
fucking sad.
I think there's I hope that this isn't just like all of the currently existing scans having just a little speck on his face, but I hope that's a tear.
I think that might be a tear.
Good. Also, we were talking about Columbo before. One of the guys here, who is right. He's like, of the three guys to the right of Percy, he's the one in the middle. He looks weirdly like Peter Falk.
Yeah, I can see it.
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing, Percy. There's something bothering about this whole race thing. Now, you said that your stone trucks were heavy. Why do they look like they're cardboard then? That's just something that was bothering me. I don't know.
And the driver pulled out a gun.
I don't mean to presume, but
Fun thing about the song, actually, is that I think some early copies of the book came with, like, sheet music on how to sing it correctly?
Yes.
Or there was something.
Yes. Tank Engine Man talks about that, and it talks about what went into doing that. Basically, what happened was the Rev knew how he wanted the tune to sound, but he couldn't write it down, so he just sort of whistled it to the organist at Emneth, who was a guy called Ernie Trundle. And he took down the notation. And according to Wilbert in the book, Edmund Ward had grave doubts about the, in quotes, music. He consulted a music publisher who took a pretty poor view of it. Wilbert's words. And so in the first couple editions of this book, the words and the music were like printed on the very last page of the book, right? According to the book, according to Tank Engine Man, this generated some troublesome correspondence, appropriately capitalized, for Wilbert. My little boy has read Percy the Small Engine, number 11 in your delightful railway series, began one letter. But when Mark came to play the tune at the end of the book, he found that, as printed, the song did not make very good sense. I therefore send you what I believe to be the correct notation for your song.
Is that the one that was used in the show?
Must have been. Yeah. I just think it's really funny that that he goes from like, okay, I know how I want this to sound. Ernie, bud, I need you for something real quick, bud. Can you... Okay, I'm gonna whistle this to you. Can you, like, write down, like, the notation of this? Right?
I'm going to whistle it. Do not
I'm going to whistle it.
Fuck it up.
Follow along as closely as you can.
Beep, beep.
And then Edward Ward going, okay, this doesn't really look like music, bud. And then he goes to a publisher who's like, this sucks. So then presumably from there it gets changed. And then it gets published like that. As changed from, like, after the music publisher. I don't know, I'm just making up my own headcanon of reality here, right? But, like, it gets changed from there, and then it gets published, and then someone fucking writes in going, hey, by the way, this was wrong, I fixed it for you. You can thank me later, bud. Love the book, by the way.
Yeah.
I also love the book.
I do too. Let's go into
I also
rankings.
love this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be where we give our book ranking if we were like the TV series and didn't do the next story. Like I said earlier
Until
before,
a season later.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in the story, this is another very good action-packed story that really gives Season 2 its identity and made it very popular back in the day, you know, like Old Iron, like A Close Shave, etc. And it introduces Harold the Helicopter, who is a character that's really stood the test of time in the greater Thomas meta.
Yeah.
He's really cool, you know? He's a cool
Yeah.
little rescue helicopter, even if that's not entirely apparent in this story, it becomes a lot more apparent in the next story.
He's a funny
What I like
freaking
about
little
Harold-
dude.
What I like
Yeah.
about Harold is that he's built up to be, you know, very, very cool, and his face is just like that.
Yeah, he's just a fucking
He's got like
dinky little guy.
a dinky little like dot eyes and a little smile.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a someone like shared on Twitter a while ago some photos of Harold's models that was first like built and completed where he's got like a bigger smile.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
with, like,
that
with
so
like dimple
much.
marks and everything. I love that. It's
He's
so
so
funny.
fucking happy.
If
like,
if they did that, they
"Yay."
might have not painted over his sad face.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what they did for his mouth in the end is just use a bit of fucking vinyl tape anyway,
Yeah.
which they did for most of the eyebrows in series 2.
Yeah, they like painted over it, so he just had a permanent frown underneath any other face he made.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really wish that they'd given Harold a more detailed face after season 2, because it'd be nice if he had, like, eyebrows and CGI. Because CGI Harold's face is kind of fucking clapped.
Oh yeah, no, CGI Harold's a little gross.
Yeah.
I don't really like CGI Harold.
I will say
The US voice doesn't help either because he just sounds like this.
He's just random Carrie Shale guy, is what his
Yeah.
problem is in the US.
CGI Harold is not animated very well, which makes me really sad because I feel like with their design they animate Annie and Clarabelle very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they could have
I
made it
suppose it's-
work.
Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
but-
Harold's one of those characters that CGI would be really good for. Because they could do a bunch of cool new things, and they do, but he also just looks bad. So, like...
Yeah.
The thing, they both do a lot with him and also don't, I feel like. Like, I feel like Harold could have been something really cool in the CGI series, and he sort of wasn't.
He's just
Yeah.
there, and he's part of the rescue center team, and that's about it.
Which, like, granted,
Yeah.
he's the only one from that team I particularly like, but...
What, you don't like Fiery Flynn, the big red dickhead on wheels?
No, I don't!
You don't like... You mean to tell me you don't like Captain, the most important character ever made?
You look like a big red dickhead on wheels!
You mean to tell me you don't like Butch the tow truck?
Butch.
Does anyone have any strong opinions on Butch?
I remember hearing that, like, he used to be a really popular character in the merchandise.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm inclined to believe sheerly because of the fact that we ended up getting so many fucking, like, not only just yellow crane characters, but, like, a bunch of yellow and blue characters in a row at a certain point in time.
Oh, yeah, true.
They're trying to capture the Butch hype.
Anyway, Jamie.
Huh. Bitch the tow
Yeah.
truck.
Jamie, what's your frickin' ranking?
Oh, fuck, right. Duck.
Hell yeah.
I think it's a duck.
I'd probably say Donald. I really like this
Yeah.
one. I wouldn't say it's perfect, which is why it's not getting a Douglas, but really fun. Great prose, fun action. Introduce Harold, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like this one.
I'll give it a Donald as well, because it's just such a nice breezy read. Like it's got all sorts of fun stuff. Like there's always something engaging on every page.
Yeah.
Right, which you know, I mean that's kind of the case with all the stories really, but this one especially has like it has the action and like it carries the proper hype of a race.
Yeah.
Especially an impromptu one, because you know Thomas and Bertie was planned. Actually, it's just a fun story.
Yeah, this is a good one.
You're a good one.
Introduced like one of the most important characters, arguably. I mean, well, yeah, one of the most important characters in the Thomas meta.
Mattel would probably call him one of the most important characters, because he's a unique vehicle with a unique color who sells well.
Yeah,
That's why they made the fucking Trackmaster Destination Herald that you can drive through.
I like the old like Tomy one where it's got like the stop rail that you can, like flick up and the like engine running like spins Harold round.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Anyway, next time on the Railway Series Book Club, we are going to be closing out our coverage on Percy the Small Engine with Percy's Promise. And unfortunately, we are going to be leaving the good graces of Season 2. And, I mean, I think it's one of the better Season 3 episodes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
think it's great.
You know, I still wish that it was in Season 2, because it kind of fucks the continuity if Percy takes the plunge a little, but, you know.
The problem is, I don't know if they had the budget, really, to, like,
They didn't.
fully submerge Percy's lower half and have him run still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been great for the budget, especially consider Percy was already falling apart from below.
Yeah. Yeah. Series
Anyway, see you
2,
next
famous
time.
for very dodgy gluing.
See you next time, everybody. Make sure
you
to
next
be
time,
kind to
everybody.
yourself.
See you next time.
Be kind to yourself.
Bye-bye.
Be kind to your kitty cat.